Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Bloons Monkey 2. This episode I'm going to be recording the commentary after I've already recorded the video, and I'll explain why later. But basically, I got 60,000 cash, and I already finished my the magic research. So now let's go on to the actual magic part. Now what I think I should have done is just buy all the upgrades and then see how much money I was left with, so I could tell you how much money it actually cost to buy all of it, which is what I kind of expected to do. But then I realized that when I'm actually playing the levels, I'm actually getting a little bit of cash, so that kind of throws off the estimate. But anyways, this is the level 1 magic ability thing, and it just has little wands that you're just shooting out the intense magic out of, which I think is pretty cool. I like that. And then the magical ring that flows around you and pops a few balloons, also kind of cool. It kind of works sort of like a like the Dart Tree core ability, how it sort of shoots out around you, except this one, it's not really shooting out around you, it's just sort of destroying everything really close to you. And it's not destroying everything really close to you. Like, it will get to a limit where it can't pop any more balloons. Like, if the entire screen is filled with balloons, then your ability isn't going to be able to just pop through everything near you. However, the intense magic is pretty good for a level 1 ability thing. It has kind of a slow attack rate, but the magic missile things do kind of swerve a little, and they pierce through quite a bit. And they don't have infinite range. They do probably travel half the screen, I'd say, but it's still pretty good, I'd say, for a level 1. Definitely easy to get through this bronze part of it. But again, as you can see, it's not perfect. It's not like, you know, amazing and destroys everything or anything. Just because of the, you know, limitations, because it's only stage 1 or whatever. But anyways, like I said, I'm recording this after the fact, so now I don't really know what to say, because I recorded this days ago. And the reason I haven't been uploading, at least Monday and probably Tuesday, I'm going to try to upload this today on Tuesday, but it was Mother's Day this weekend, so I wasn't able to do anything Saturday. And then Monday, my dad and sister were still here taking care of the baby and everything, so I wasn't able to record this, my commentary, yesterday. So that's why I wasn't recording anything. But anyways, I'm going to try to upload this maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, depending on like how long the upload says it's going to take or something. I don't know. But after that, then I'm just going to do the boomerang thrower thing. And now that is why I'm recording the commentary after, because I added this sort of like fade transition thing. But for some reason, that transition kind of messes with the syncing of the audio of the commentary. So that's kind of lame. Like, I'm sure I could find some way to fix that or get around it in the actual editing process. But instead, I'm just going to edit in the transitions and then edit my commentary after. I'm probably only going to try that for this episode, and if you think it works nice enough, then I'll try it later or something. I don't know. But I've just really wanted to do fade transitions, and with Windows Live Movie Maker, that's pretty much the only way. But anyways, back to the game. Now, with my next upgrade, I'm shooting out the fireballs, which is pretty awesome, because that's the next upgrade on a normal Wizard Monkey, which I think is kind of cool. So the fireballs, I think they have a little bit faster attack rate, not entirely sure, but they do fire like the entire length of the screen, I suppose, and they are pretty good at piercing through quite a few balloons, but they can't pierce through everything, obviously. And then, of course, that darker red is when it's having that, I guess I could call it like a skill shot or something, just the research extra ability. Now, another thing, the reason why I just shot out 2 at once, or no, at once, but one right after the other, or that one, is because the research for the magic is every 6 shots, but then all the others are every 7 shots. So it kind of messes with the flow of it, and I think that was just to give it a bit of a buff because of how many people said that, you know, the magic wasn't that great, so they're like, oh, let's just give the research more power on it. But to me, that kind of isn't that good. One, because adding it or making it 6 shots rather than every 7 shots doesn't add that much power to it, and then on top of that, now that means that the shielded balloons, or the attacks that are going to be extra damaging against shielded balloons aren't going to be the same attacks that are extra damaging against normal balloons and ceramic balloons. So that gets kind of thrown off, which isn't, again, it's not a huge deal, but it is something that I would like to take into consideration. Like, if they were able to make all of the research when you're using only magic, or when you're using magic in general, make it only 6 shots or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, as you can see, the fireball is pretty good. And then, of course, I got the magic golden balloon upgrade, which I thought was kind of funny. And then the ring that follows you, or not follows you, but swirls around you, that's just basically a little bit stronger than the last one. Looks a little bit cooler, so I think it's kind of cool. But anyways, I think I'm about to transition into the next stage episode thing. Not episode, but stage 2 complete, blah blah blah. So now the next one is Fire Wave, which is basically just a better fireball thing, as you'll see. And then here, the Intense Ring, which I'll say that the magic upgrades aren't quite as connected as like the bombs and the Doom Ray tech tree thing, just because the upgrades between the arms and the core don't really correlate quite as well. But anyways, now your core ability, that energy ring thing that follows you, or I keep saying follows you, but surrounds you and pops up balloons around you, that looks really cool right now. And the Fire Wave is pretty cool because then it's a little bit of a, like, not just one fireball on each side, but like a real, like it says, Fire Wave, which I think looks pretty cool. And I don't think I showed you on this video, but when you turn off hardware and go to software, the fire looks really lame. And especially the later upgrades. I'll talk about that later, obviously, but yeah, I like the way that the arms look on the Magic Monkey, like the fiery effect on the arms and the magic-y cape thing. I think that looks really cool. I just wish that the magic powers were a little bit stronger, and as you'll see later on, like, it does do pretty well on these stages, but then you have to remember this is the first zone, and you're not expected to have 60,000 cash to buy all the upgrades for the magic. And another thing is that I've only been using the actual like main upgrades, and I haven't been doing activated abilities, and that's kind of on purpose, kind of on accident, because I never really use the activated abilities anyways. I mostly just use the MOAP every now and then, obviously, but I will be going through the rest of the zones and doing the power set badges and all those, and I'll try to throw in the activated abilities for those later. For Zone 2, I don't think I will use the activated abilities, but then for Zone 3 and 4, I probably will. 1, just to show you guys what the activated abilities are, and 2, to use them to actually help me, because I'm not entirely sure if I can pass the other zones with just one power set, specifically the bomb and the magic. But who knows, with the activated abilities, maybe they will be good enough. But as you might have seen back there, the big groups of Bloons weren't entirely super amazingly destroyed by your core ability, because this is already tier 3, I think, and it does pop through quite a few Bloons, but then it does have a cap where it just stops popping things even if the animation is still going, and then it has to wait for that to like rise up again or start spinning again or whatever before it starts actually popping things again. So I think here is when it just becomes a whole screen of black balloons, if I remember correctly, and that's just the bomb upgrade, which I definitely don't want. If it is the big screen of black balloons, here it is. And so let's see how well or how not very well it does against this, because you can see the fireball is not piercing through that many black balloons, and then I think I moved the monkey around to show you its core ability, and the core ability does not pop through that many balloons either. So again, this is tier 3 with full research, and it's not that great against stage 3, which I'm sure this costs more than you should probably have at this point. Not that much more, but a little bit more. So this is why I'd say the magic is not very powerful, because it's not full power, and this isn't exactly the easiest wall of balloons to get through, but it's just compared to how well like the tech tree and the dart monkey was able to pop through so much, the magic just did not really live up to the hype, I suppose. It didn't really get it there, I guess. I don't know. But obviously the bomb upgrade, that's kind of like their weakness, so it's kind of expected that they're not going to do very well against that. But I think even the bombs did better than the magic, if I remember correctly, which I probably am not. But anyways, with the next upgrade, it's just a much bigger fire wave, which I think is kind of cool. And then here's where the core ability, in my opinion, kind of goes downhill, because I'm sure it's probably like actually better than the previous ones, but now it's more like the lightning, sort of like a Tesla machine thing. I'm not sure why I forgot the name of that. But anyways, so now the fire wave, or I think now it's called the fire arc. It's much bigger, well, not a little bit bigger, and it looks really cool. but then your core ability is now that electric thingy where whenever you get close to Bloons, I'm not sure if you actually have to touch it or like run into it, or if it's just whenever you're close enough to it, but it'll just sort of shoot out like a little lightning arc thing, which is kind of cool, but I think it sort of replaces the effect of the last like ring of magic that surrounds you, which I think they probably should have just added it to the lightning rather than switch it, I guess. I don't know. But like I was saying, the magic from the core ability is sort of different from the magic of the arm ability, because basically so far you've just gone from intense magic to fireball, then 2 fireballs, then 3 fireballs. Now I think this is like 4 fireballs, and then your actual core magic is just like intense ring, a little bit more intense ring, really intense ring, and now lightning. Then it's going to keep going on with the lightning-y stuff. So it's, I don't know, kind of disconnected rather than the way the others were. But anyways, the fire is pretty powerful. Like, it's not as weak as last time, but again, it's not doing too amazing. I mean, it's decent against that beehive thing that it just popped, but it just doesn't really feel like it's that powerful, especially because the fire doesn't move that fast, doesn't fire that fast, and doesn't pierce that much. So that's kind of the main thing that it's not that great at. Now, of course, it's only weak against ceramic Bloons, so you only have to worry about not being able to pop ceramic Bloons, which don't seem like they're very often, but I think they just don't seem very often because all the other abilities are able to just totally destroy it. So now I'm going to show you how well it gets through this green bloom apple tree thing. I'm not sure if that's like an apple tree or cherry tree, or do cherries grow on trees or bushes? I don't know. But anyways, I think cherry tree. I'm not sure. But it popped through that alright. It's just, again, doesn't really feel super powerful. So now here's the Elemental Strike, which, again, I kind of like it, but it doesn't feel like it's as powerful as it should be. And then your core ability goes up to a stronger Lightning Strike thing. And as you can see now, the fire, it's not shooting out anymore, it's just sort of like a little flamethrower in front of you, which could be cool. It's definitely powerful against Moabs, or Moab class Bloons, mini Moabs, or whatever, but I don't know, I don't like that it doesn't shoot out in front of you. Excuse me. But it just reminds me of the tech tree, like the Doom Arm Pulse Whip things, except it just doesn't seem quite as powerful as those, because obviously it's doing fine against these Bloons, but again, you have to remember, this is the tier 5 on zone 1, so you're not supposed to have this kind of power yet, and it's still just doing pretty good. Obviously it's popping everything, but there's not that much for it to pop. And then again, the lightning that surrounds you is just more powerful, pops more Bloons or whatever, but it seems like the fire in front of you is popping more Bloons than the lightning can get to, I guess. Like, it's popping everything in front of you so much that the lightning that's supposed to arc around everything isn't able to actually hit any of the Bloons. Occasionally it does when you like come in from the side, but basically the fire is just popping everything, which again sounds like a compliment and probably kind of is, but again, I kind of wish I was shooting fire while having this flamethrower type of thing. And then of course I got the golden balloon upgrade and I got the tech tree, and I was like, I don't need that tech tree, even though it is really cool. But yeah, and then I think I just got bronze, so I think right now I'm going to upgrade to the next level just to show you what it is. And these upgrades, this one that I have right now, and now the Elemental Arc, they don't really look that good in software. It looks like they're sort of bugged or something. And now this is actually kind of my least favorite thing about the magic, is that the fire, the Elemental Strike, basically it's the same, or the Elemental Arc is basically the same as Elemental Strike, just a little bit bigger. And on its own, without the core ability, it looks kind of cool. With the core ability, it's like, because the core, the magic-y stuff that surrounds you, it does seem kind of cool, but one, it doesn't pop through that many Bloons, and two, it sort of overlaps, or not really overlaps, but it sort of covers up the fire in front of you, so I don't know, it just looks kind of lame. Like, it looks like this, like, ball of energy matter that should just destroy everything in the middle, but doesn't actually destroy everything, and then just sort of like two little fiery arms sort of poking out, like, oh hey, I can attack too with these things, even though they're not really doing that much. Well, they're probably doing more than they look like they're doing, but I don't know. it just visually, that doesn't look very appealing to me. It looks like you're trying to mash together two things that shouldn't go together when they're supposed to go together, I guess. And I don't know, it just kind of bugs me, because I think whenever that ring turns red, that means that you've reached your cap for the moment, and then it'll just sort of like cool down and then pop more balloons type of thing. And you can tell it goes red pretty fast. Now that red could mean something else, I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like, and it's just like, It might just turn red whenever you're actually popping balloons, and not necessarily when you can't pop any more balloons, but I don't know. The fire, I mean, obviously here, it's doing fine. It's popping everything. But again, this is Zone 1, Stage 5. Like, it should pop everything, because they're Tier 6. This is basically as powerful as you can get with a magic, except for activated abilities. And again, full research, so come on. Now I was figuring, you know, super powerful against Moab class balloons, against like the mini Moabs, so why shouldn't it just totally destroy this Moab? But it's not doing amazing, because it's not doing super amazing damage in one hit, so it's just sort of bouncing the Moab back. Now here it already popped, or no, it didn't actually pop, but it did a bunch of damage, and again, you would think that it should be able to pop through all these balloons, and it did pretty good, but I don't know. I'm just not impressed with this magic. I feel disappointed that it looks like it should do more damage, but it just doesn't, and it's just meh. I don't know. But anyways, I got all the badges. I mean, I got bronze, so it's not like I should really be complaining. But next I'm just going to do the boomerang tree, because there's nothing else to do for the magic. I mean, obviously I could get activated abilities and all that, but I already discussed that. And I think I already have the money for it. I just need to record it after I record this episode. And then after that, I'll probably just go on to Bloon Dunes and try to get Diamond Ring first, and then do the power sets, or power sets first. You could probably let me know in the comments, but I might already record an episode before that. So anyways, I guess that's going to be pretty much it for that. I gave myself some room just to talk about stuff right here, but now I don't remember what I was going to talk about. So I guess that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.